I can already tell that this is going to be awesome because, like, we were pre-gaming basically before this interview even officially happened, before I hit record. And I mean, I'm so excited. I'm here with superstar DJ Tracy Young and superstar singers Niki Harris and Donna Lory. And it's kind of like an interesting, cross section for me because I'm a huge fan of Madonna and I'm a huge fan of Cyndi Lauper. Like, growing up, those were like my two pop queens. And Tracy, you've worked with both. And there's the Cyndi Lauper farewell tour, and you guys are all working together. So, like, I just feel like this is meant to be. I feel like my career has been leading up to this. So, thank you guys for joining me.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having us.
of
Yeah.
course.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I don't even know where to begin with all of the things that you have done in your career. I mean, obviously, Tracy.
Let's start at the beginning. A very good place to start. Okay.
How much time you guys got? How much time you guys
It
got?
was all the pink. It was all the pink behind me.
I love the pink.
I love
that pink.
What's the record back there? You have a gold
That one,
record?
that's Duran Duran's Rio, right above my pet snake.
Us. Sounds like you got some awards and accolades also.
Well, I don't have a Grammy like you do, Tracy, because you won a Grammy like 5 years ago for your I Rise remix for Madonna.
So great.
And which congratulations to you, because that was the first time a woman had ever won. What was it? Best remix? Best remix was the official title of the category.
That was the first time a woman had even been nominated, which I thought,
What?
well, I was exactly, Niki. I was really, that blew me away because with all the female presence in the DJ production world, I just was like, there's a problem here. But
you're solving it, or we're on our way.
Exactly.
On our way, hopefully. But all of you guys are such trailblazers, and Cyndi and Madonna are such trailblazers. And, obviously, Tracy, you're on I want to talk to you about the farewell tour that you're doing with, I hope it's not farewell. I hope it's more like
I know.
It is. It
okay.
is.
It is?
Yeah.
Sometimes they say that and it's not really true.
She has said she doesn't want to tour on this scale anymore.
Right.
She's not giving up. She's actually working on a Broadway show again, if you're familiar with Kinky Boots.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Absolutely. That's very cool.
She's doing Working Girl now. So after the tour, she'll roll into that.
That's going to be
great.
Amazing. Well, yeah, touring at that scale is, for anyone, especially when you get a little bit up there in years, even though she seems immortal and,
she is
eternally.
Immortal.
But also,
it can be done. When you take it can be done. Look at Diana Ross, 81.
I saw her recently.
Killing it.
But one of the things that I think is interesting is, and obviously Niki and Donna, you were there, like, I don't think a lot of people realize that these big scale tours that all the divas do now, like, Beyonce and, Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, and, Dua Lipa, all of them, like Madonna, I feel she set the template for that. Absolutely. With the Blonde Ambition, with all of her tours, certainly with the Blonde Ambition tour, which was the first time I ever saw her perform. And I don't know if either of these women, among at least the younger generation, Gen Z or whatever, I don't know if they get their flowers as much. I don't know if there's enough awareness among, like, I have a niece who's 18, for instance. She, like, she didn't, for instance, she didn't really know much about Madonna. I'm like, sit down. We're going to have a talk.
Amen for that.
But,
that is the lifespan of all of us. We have to come to terms with that. My father taught me that years ago. It's, who's Niki Harris? Get me Niki Harris. Get me someone like Niki Harris. Who's Niki Harris? I mean, that's just the lifespan of any artist. And hopefully you've left some beautiful, as you say, flowers along the way, because it's just a momentary moment that we're here. So it's like, try to share some love while you're here, because eventually you will get to that point where somebody goes, who's Niki Harris?
Even for the biggest star in the world, that applies. Even for the icons,
Yeah.
Well,
unfortunately, some people do still say, "Who's Van Gogh?" It's like, that's when you're like,
I know,
you don't know. Yeah.
Picasso, Leonardo.
And even more reason why it's so important to tell our stories and make sure we, keep them out there. So we need those griots, as they say in the African culture. We need those griots out there who pass it on.
Pass on the inspiration.
I mean, I have so many stories I could ask all three of you about, but before, like roundtable style, before that, I obviously want to ask about the stuff you guys do together as a trio, because I think you've done at this point, well, you have, once the next one comes out, you'll have three. Have you worked on three songs? Like, I know
we have worked on, we're killing it. We've worked on what, four?
Well, four that we're doing, yeah. Three that are ones that are about to come out. We have two that have come out, right?
Two have come out. Actually,
so we got a couple more coming.
The Spotify pre-sale link for Water, which comes out October 11th, I want to say. So I have that link for y'all.
That's great.
We're on fire, Lindsay.
Oh, I want to talk about last night DJ Saved My Life, which that was the first time you collaborated, right? Because I've read things that Niki and Donna, that you said that Tracy kind of in a way, figuratively saved your lives, like sort of reignited, kind of brought you back into like the dance music world.
Yeah.
In a way you hadn't been in a while. So I'd love to talk about how that all came together, and now it's like this ongoing like love fest, obviously.
It's always been a love fest.
We've known each other for what, like 25
at least.
Yeah, 25 years. I've known Niki and Donna, but yeah. I'll let you tell the story.
Niki and I did our EP. We did a kind of a crowdfunding for our first EP, which was a few years ago. And I remember reaching out to Tracy, and she was really busy at the time and everything, to do a remix, and it didn't align. But it was just so amazing that when the time was right, we were put together in Mexico at a private event, and we just needed to be in the same room and feel each other's energy. And then it just happened.
The universe was trying to tell us too, because we were starting to get calls to do like these dance shows, and we're like, so we're calling one, can you mix this? Can you turn this into a dance song? Can you turn this? So we just put a show together with like lots of different producers who put, made these songs into dance songs. I mean, and just so we could do a show. That was kind of like, we just need to get a show together, as opposed to, because we always were doing live band, really, really, telling our stories, and just really kind of stripped down. But the dance show was a whole nother issue for us, because Donna to Lory did wardrobe. I'm just saying, y'all. All I was like, I don't know how to do this anymore. And gratefully, we got to be with Tracy, and like I said, in the clip that you put together, I felt like she was more excited than we were. I just tried to get through the show without my knees hurting. And when you said, I think you guys should release that song, I Know You, I Live You, and we're like, and you kept the ball rolling for us, and it was like, whoa, it added a whole nother, just a spunk of energy into what Don and I were already doing. So yeah, it saved our lives, because I was still like, do we do another, like, broken down kind of instrumentally, more jazzy kind of what do we do? It's like, I know we have so much more music in us. And yeah, you reminded us.
I had done I had wanted to shop last night a DJ Saved My Life. I had done that as an instrumental with a demo of how I heard it. And when I saw them before Mexico even happened, I had sent Niki and Donna that track, and they loved it. So I think I had already started working on that, right? And I think I played it in Mexico. Yeah. We had finished.
With us singing?
No. But I played
You played the track, right?
Yeah,
okay.
At that event. Yeah. And then I was like, we got to do this. I Know You, I Live You. And
the greatest thing, though, really, Lindsay, the one thing that we agreed upon with each other, that it just had to be easy and flow, and just that, it was never any stress about it. Last night a DJ Saved My Life was like, it was like singing a nursery rhyme we all already knew.
Yeah.
And we just put our little spin on it, but it just felt so easy. And it's like, we want each song to feel that way. Like, we're excited, but we don't feel any pressure to try to make it something. So we're just going to put our stuff on it, do what we do, and keep it moving. Next song. Okay. Next song.
Absolutely. I also feel that, so many times you talk about collaborating with people, and then a year goes by and it still doesn't happen. And I felt like that track was like, let's not think about this so much. Let's just get into it. and Niki put her vocal down in Atlanta, and then I went into a studio in Topanga Canyon to put my vocal down. And right when I sang to it, it was amazing. And I was just singing to like an MP3 that they sent me of the track with her vocal on it. And it was just so automatic. And it's just, I'm really enjoying this process. I would rather all be together in a room, but it has been just flowing. And I know we will be.
Yeah.
We get together and write more, and we got to come to Miami.
That EP that you mentioned, Donna, didn't, as a sort of another connective thing here, didn't it have a Cyndi Lauper cover on it of All Through the Night?
Yes.
Which is kind of,
it's just like, this
serendipitous. It's so serendipitous.
There's another connection with the Cyndi thing, because I've read that Open Your Heart was originally written maybe with Cyndi Lauper in mind, or shopped to her, or given to her. I don't know if she passed on it, or I don't know exactly, but I've read that it was initially going to be for her.
Yeah.
And it not only ended up being a Madonna song, but if I'm not mistaken, it was like the Madonna song that brought Donna, I don't know about you, Niki, but brought you into the Madonna world. And the rest was herstory. So, I'm sure you've told the story so many times, but if you would indulge me about how you kind of came into this empire, because honestly, like, there are very few backing singers, or what's the word? Background. What's the term you would prefer?
I mean, they were a three-way.
Collaborating with.
Well, see, that's
accompanying vocalist artist.
Yeah, a collaborator.
That was what I was about to say, because there are very few singers like that where their names, you recognize them. It was almost like, for a while, you guys in Madonna were like Destiny's Child or something. You were like a trio. Like, we always expected to see you in all the iconic VMAs performances or tours. So, like, yeah, it was an unusual, especially with someone who is as big a star as was and is Madonna, like, to have such like recognizable singers was rare back then, or it still
very
is.
Fortunate. We're very
like, how did that all come together where you became such an important part of that?
I'm going to answer that question. I just want to have another Cyndi moment. I'm going to go back to Madonna. Absolutely. I just want to say another Cyndi connection.
Yeah.
And I want Tracy, I want you to let her know this too. This is not a plug for me, but I just got nominated for the Urban Music Awards in California, and I just wanted you to know that it's the Time After Time Cyndi Lauper, but it's my jazz version. So I just want, that song got nominated as the best female jazz vocal.
Have I heard that? I heard All Through the Night.
It's on my record, Lift Thine Eyes, and for some reason I don't know how I got nominated, but yeah,
because you're Niki Harris.
Well, it's a lot of great musicians are on the record too. But I'm just saying, I love singing that song. I do that song all the time in my jazz sets.
Congratulations!
So I'm just let her know that.
God, but at the show, you guys have to come to a show. And
I want to. I've been trying to ask you, like, where should we come?
It can't be LA because they're filming that. So I'm not getting comp tickets for that. But figure it out. There's only 10 or 11 left. But when she does Time After Time, it brings people to tears.
Wow. I can't even talk about that song.
You guys have to see this show.
I can't even talk about that song or the video. I cannot watch the video without crying every time. So I'll be crying that night at the Hollywood Bowl.
And the show is, it's really well done. You guys would really enjoy it.
I really want to see it.
Well, Robbie said Robbie was just in tears through the whole show. I looked at pictures of him in the show with you, and he was gone, gone.
Yeah,
so, I know.
Robbie, Niki's assistant, came to New York.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to just tell Don and I what city. So we got to pick a city.
Yeah. We can go look up the tour dates, and Niki, you and I should just coordinate. We're gonna have to fly to get there, obviously.
Okay. We can meet. Are you guys? Do you guys do like Denver or Colorado?
I love that you guys are having like a meeting.
I know.
I don't mind.
I'm sorry, Lindsay. I know this is your. I know.
Sorry.
So we became a girl group.
I like that. I become part of like the. No,
okay, then
kind of become
the way
part
that
of the
happened was.
Then you can flash. You can flash to the clip of us there.
Are we on we're in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's all good. Sorry. That just shows that you. No, I like the process. It shows that how good of friends you are, which is so cool.
Oh yeah, we love.
it. Started off with 3 girls, and by the time we got to Blonde Ambition tour auditions, Don and I showed up, and we realized we were the only ones there. And the reason that was because we had already done our before Vogue, the song, we had already done the MTV Awards, and we had done what is considered Rolling Stone's favorite performance of hers, Express Yourself, of just the three of us. And it really worked. And we choreographed it on Sunset Boulevard, the Gower Studios, the three of us together. And it just flowed. And I think by the time we got to Blind Ambition.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, I think that's the first time I remember seeing you. It's a memory that stuck with me. It was like, oh, okay, this is the new Madonna look now. This is what's the thing now. It's the three of them now.
Well, she said two sidekicks, that we were her secret weapon, and what Madonna showed you could do with a pair of stairs and some lights. And we kept it really simple. And for me, that's one of our strongest things. To me, I thought that was one of our strongest performances.
I agree.
Most genuine. And so by the time we got to Blind Ambition, we knew that we were going to be, with her, definitely singing with her. However, when I didn't know it was going to be all men and that we were going to be the only women out there. That's what Blonde was like. Whoa! Oh, so we're the only girls out here with her.
Well, and kinda, honey.
Kind of.
Oh, be nice.
The energy was balanced, though.
I love all those guys. You know that.
Look, I learned more about perfume and makeup and fashion than that with them than I had ever known. But yeah, it turned out really great. I mean, I always say that's how, we started becoming women together. We were so young when, we first started with her. And, by the time we ended, we were all, knock, knocking on 50s. No, 40s. We're past our 40s. So,
Yeah, it changed a lot when you'd done so many tours and you see these 18-year-olds coming in. And it's like how you were when you're first starting, like run off stage, go back to the hotel, change really quick, go out all night dancing. It was amazing to look back on the 20s, it's like everybody do it while you can.
Yeah. I remember Donna, I remember you calling me and going, she goes, just when I was gone, she's like, it's just not the same, Niki. It's just not the same.
It was not the same.
Meaning it's also called, we had such a history together. Even if you put another background singer up there, when me and Donna, we've had so much, what's the stuff? Glue. That's just so easy for us. We don't have to think about it or, and what happens when you have that much time with somebody, also you learn like, okay, she needs space right now. She needs space right now. Or, okay, you can be a little bit more gentle here. Niki, can you? And you learn to do that because not only do you respect that person, but you know that they got your back and that they really love you. And it's like, I watched Donna do some incredible work with me where she should have fucking slapped my face. But it's like, because she's such a professional, because she was so gracious. Yeah, gracious and walks in grace in the world. Because that's how she chooses to walk in grace in the world. That's why this relationship has lasted this long. I'm still trying to learn some of that grace. Trust me, child. I'm trying to learn some of that. And so we can bring some of that to this project that we're doing right here, because these are three women supporting each other. That's what we're really doing more than we making music, but we're also making some incredible moments together.
But when I talked to Donna the first time about the project, Niki and I'm close to Niki's assistant, Robbie. So we kind of have always ebbed and flowed out of each other's life. We all get busy. But Donna and we had talked, but we both said, look, we want this to be fun. We want to make good. We don't, no drama, no, like we're just making music and doing it.
We're sharing this great vision of, bringing this joy. And I see us all on this, on a big stage celebrating and bringing this joy. And I wanted to say that so much of the chemistry, and like Niki talks about the glue on stage, was just, we were friends and we were hanging out. And that goes back to like hanging out even with Madonna in the clubs and dancing and sharing our love for music and movement and singing and performing, but in the clubs together. So that it was just so natural and it flowed. So for Niki and I to have us on stage together, we were playing, we were having fun, we were doing like, having our I Love Lucy moments and cracking each other up. I mean, I have so many great memories from those
But you
tours. And
also created if I can say this because I met them after. So
mhm.
I was a fan, not knowing them, not even knowing that I would meet them and end up working with them, but they gave Madonna that voice, that
Mhm.
what we know to be the Madonna voice. And
Mm.
But
I
I
mean,
just want to say, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I really want, because somebody's going to watch this platform, and I don't want them to think that we are not understanding how amazingly blessed we were for her to
Oh,
give us that
oh,
absolutely.
platform.
I
Oh
don't,
yeah.
To give us that.
am I coming
Well, and the
across?
only reason I say that is because when people use words, and we have some people who come to our shows sometimes, and they'll go legends, iconic, and then we were like,
No,
Yeah.
I
are they
was
talking about us?
just saying
Are
the
they?
Of
three
course
of
they are.
you made angelic. I mean, you and Donna, I always tell you, you sound angelic together. And you
Thank
put
you.
Madonna in that mix, and it's just, that's what I mean. I'm
Magic.
not,
Yeah, no, no, no. And
I
what I'm
agree.
saying is, I'm just learning at 60, no, 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 sounds I'm my age, to just
make sure that people know you're grateful.
no, well, and also just to take that in and go,
Yeah.
I mean, Lindsay, you called us iconic. You called us legendary singers.
Absolutely.
Those are words that I use for Diana Ross. Those are the
Yeah.
words I
Mm.
use. Those are the words. So when you say that about us, I'm like, I'm learning how to just be still, be humble, and say
Oh,
thank you to that. And thank you, Madonna, for
Yeah.
putting in a space where
Absolutely.
somebody would one day call us iconic.
absolutely.
That
Like
part.
I said, it was a rare thing to see,
Very rare.
two
Yeah.
singers of a major pop star who were front and center with the pop star in almost every major performance on TV, on tour. Tracy, I wanted to ask you, because you were talking about how you were a fan before you met,
Uh-huh.
were Madonna and Cindy as well, were they like important touchstones for you growing up,
Oh my God,
MTV? Were
yes.
they like, did they inspire you to, these two awesome, very different trailblazing women to like get into music, and particularly, I guess, with Madonna, because she does more electronic music. Oh, no, wait, Cindy did too. Um,
Cindy does too, yeah.
but I mean, I'm wondering, did you grow up, idolizing them? Did they inspire you to get into music, anything like that?
Um, well, I always wanted to be in music. My instruments are the turntables. I'm an idea
Mhm.
person. I'm not a
Yeah.
keyboard player. I'm not a drummer. But I hear music and I think in music and I can play chords, but I'm not a musician. I don't consider myself a musician.
I
With
think
that
the
said,
Recording Academy would differ on that. I mean, they
well,
don't give they gave you a Grammy, so I'm just saying.
I like the collaborative process. But to
Got it.
answer your question, I think I was inspired by everything, not just one person. Madonna definitely inspired me, but I never thought that I didn't know how do I answer this? I loved their music. I was a fan of their music, but I never thought um I didn't know how they inspired me directly. Of course they inspired me and I listened to their music, but as far as my career, I wanted to DJ. And
Hmm.
then that evolved into production, and because I was around it all the time in the radio. I started in the radio and
That's
hip
right.
hop
Yeah,
and R&B
that's
and
cool.
Mm.
um
Do you come from a music? I know that Donna and Niki, you both come from illustrious musical families and grew up with that. You're, for people watching this who don't know, Donna, your dad was Al DeLory, who played like on Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, produced Glenn Campbell. Niki, your father was legendary jazz pianist Gene Harris. So you had that growing up. But Tracy, did you have
oh
like
yeah, my
that kind
mom
of
was
family?
a classic. She was an amazing pianist.
Oh,
Nothing
awesome.
in
Mm.
the music world, but I mean, just played the piano, and then I played the piano, but my mom didn't force me to continue.
Mm.
And I was always so angry at her for not forcing me as a child
Classic.
because I wanted to be outside and running the streets. But yeah, so I gave it up, but it stayed with me.
Obviously.
My mom was a huge inspiration. That's where my inspiration came from.
And I'm sorry, I believe that she recently
Yeah,
passed, and I'm so
thank you.
sorry for your loss. I have read that when you were grieving, this Cyndi Lauper opportunity came up at like the, best possible time or
Well, a
something to
year
that.
had gone by and I hadn't done any music. And when I met
Wow.
Nikki and Donna, like not met them, but when we started connecting again, Cindy had called me. Uh, I guess Cindy called me a year ago, exactly a year ago for this tour. She wanted me to do the whole tour, which ended up being no tour, which ended up being a few dates. And then that ended up leading to all the European dates. And, everything kept changing. So nothing was set in stone. But what that phone call did for me was, wow, I've never done that before. I can't say no to that. And so it got me motivated again. And that's when I connected with Nikki and Donna. I was like, God, I gotta start putting out music again. And that had been a year and a half of my mom being gone. But I literally sat on the couch, ate, gained a lot of weight, like did nothing but cry my eyes out. Like it was so unlike my behavior. I was just anybody that knows me knows that I'm like full of energy and always cracking jokes and being silly. And I just was not myself and I could not snap out of it. So when I say Cindy saved my life, that's what I mean, because she gave me something, she threw me back into it. And like, girl, this is what you're meant to do. Come
It's
on.
incredible.
Yeah, and it came at the right time. So I started working out again. I lost, like a tour, as Donna and Nikki know, it's an athletic type of conditioning that you need to put your body through. And I mean, even though I'm up there for 15 minutes, it sucks the life out of me, you know?
It's all
Well,
that travel. Yeah.
Yeah.
the travel,
And
and
the
also you're,
bags and all of it.
but
Yeah.
also I imagine if you're playing to a large space like in LA, it's 2 nights at the Hollywood Bowl, which is, obviously iconic and a huge venue. Like it's probably a different vibe of how you act on stage or your
Yeah,
energy than
it
when
is.
you're in a
Like
club.
I kind of step out from the booth and I interact with the crowd, which, it is different.
That's so fun. I love seeing those clips of you doing that.
Can't
I don't
wait.
know. I'm
Really cute. You're
going
just
as
like,
I go. Like I'm learning as I go. Like get up,
you're
come
like
on.
mouthing our vocals and
Yeah.
everything. I love it. You're like,
No,
I
I'm
know
playing
you.
our songs. I'm
Yeah.
playing them. They love them.
That's so
One
I
great.
love it.
one thing I
I
want to
love to see
ask,
the reaction.
yeah, well, you'll be seeing me. I'm excited for it. I'll be dancing at the
Yeah.
Hollywood Bowl. One thing I want, it's for all three of you, but you might have different kinds of answers. So what I recall, and this happens so often in media in general, whether it's like Britney versus Christina or whatever, back in the day when Madonna and Cindy were the two biggest female pop stars on MTV, I don't think they had any rivalry between them. I think they probably were fine with each other if they even knew each other. I'm sure they didn't have any beef, but the media often pitted them against each other and sort of made it seem like Cindy was the more credible one because I guess because she was a less overtly sexy. So
Exactly.
she was the credible one and Madonna wasn't. And like I don't know if you saw the documentary about We Are the World, the Greatest Night
Yes.
Pop.
Yes.
And
It's incredible. Yeah.
they actually literally, I mean, they literally didn't invite Madonna, who
I
was at
know.
the American Music Awards, standing there. There's like a scene where like Huey Lewis is like, "Yeah, I'm headed over to A&M after this," and he's like standing next to Madonna, and she's like, "Mm-hmm."
That was a mistake.
A
Big
massive
mistake.
mistake. And they actually, like someone I forget who in the documentary says, "Oh, because we had Cindy doing it, we didn't ask Madonna." It's like, what the like?
But that's
Yeah.
how
Also,
people
yeah.
put
And the
women
worst
against
part is
each.
that they're literally singing "We Are the World,"
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
they're choosing who's going to be part of
But
that
no one
world.
was like, "Oh, we already have, uh Bob Dylan, so we can't also have Bruce Springsteen. You know, no one
Exactly.
Exactly.
you know.
And Quincy had a sign on the door, "Leave your egos at the door."
But
It's like that's
but that annoyed me, just that they felt like they couldn't have both, because I'm sure that, like,
Well,
again,
I
I
know
don't think
for a fact that Cindy has no problem with Madonna.
Yeah.
I don't have an
And
impression.
and
that
vice
either.
versa, and vice versa.
But what do you think about the fact that they were
Go ahead.
just in no, I didn't mean to know. I just like I don't think they have any rivalry. I've never ever read anything like that. But the media does tend to
Oh,
do
they
that.
they do it to sell papers.
Absolutely.
I mean,
And
I
what
guess
I know for sure, that's one of the things I know for sure, that a woman of a certain age in this business, is that the theys, you know, they will, and they put them in there's a lot of theys around there, around people, and those courts start to form around the artist, and sometimes the artist has nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
Half of those people are just on a payroll, and they want to wield their power. We're watching it in many ways in our world right now. Like sometimes it's not even the top guy. Sometimes it's the lower guy who's just trying to, trying to be the big chicken in the yard. And it's just like, it probably had nothing to do. It was some of those theys that were out there. I mean, we don't even know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't. Yeah. It's like, so it's like, but there's a story created around that they did this and they said that. And it's like, I never heard Madonna say anything bad, and I'm sure Cindy never said anything bad, and I'm sure that they're so busy anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Those two are so busy,
and they're
all
so different.
That's what I'm saying. But there was this idea that, like, okay, one is the sexy one, Madonna, and the sexy dancy one, so therefore she is the one you will take less seriously, and whatever, might have the shorter career. And then Cindy is like the kooky one who's less overtly sexy and has a bigger singing voice.
Tell that to the man that's laying down with Cindy.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, how they were.
Cindy is doing just fine.
Oh, I think Cindy's sexy as hell. I think Cindy's sexy as hell.
Just fine.
But you know what I'm saying? There was, I mean, I remember it then, and yeah, there were articles that would be like, oh, which is the one that's gonna, like, basically stand the test of time. Now we're here like 40 years later. They both did, but yeah, I just think it's kind of silly.
And some of those days are gone. And some of those days are gone.
Exactly.
And we all know that, I heard it from people I was working with in the industry when I was doing sessions and everything, the story that men had about Madonna, because she was very sexual person, and it came through in her dancing and her work and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they made, they told the story that there was something wrong with that.
Right. And she told us in Blonde Ambition, I'm here. I don't think I'm the best singer. I'm here to provoke conversation. I'm here to push buttons. This is what she's about. And she can't help it but be sexy. She's Italian and fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else she gonna do?
And she has that. If she just has that energy, it's natural. It's nothing contrived. It's nothing put on.
No, she would have been fine if she would have been a housewife in Michigan. Madonna gonna be fine and sexy. That's just the part. That's what it is. She got great titties, and that's what it is.
That's what I was gonna say.
What?
What's actually
there wasn't a day when she wasn't cute, But
what's actually interesting is when I remember, actually, her entire career, how Madonna's been perceived, but from the beginning, is even though she was sexy and kind of putting the sexiness front and center, I don't remember like a lot of men liking her. You would think they'd be like, hell yeah, Madonna's hot, I'm going to the Madonna concert. But I'm talking straight men.
They were threatened. Yeah,
they didn't like her.
Powerful.
She had so much power, and honestly, working with her after being in the business, doing sessions and working with so many men, engineers, producers, everything, I felt so empowered to be on that stage. Awesome. We'd be rehearsing, and she would just call people out. If somebody was smoking in the room, it was like, who's smoking? You're out of here. Her power was, I felt empowered. I felt it gave me so much strength to know I could continue on in the business and hold that space for myself with producing and directing. And it was just, that was the most incredible part of the whole thing for me, was the confidence and the influence and the power that she had, that she was the boss No one else.
And
That-
she still is, honey.
That was
Yeah.
And
something.
I would also say too, the rare thing too that Madonna encapsulates in her beingness is, and what makes a lot of what I would call straight men. Remember, this is the 80s and the 90s. This is not 2025. Madonna was a person. So when you say that men weren't attracted, yes, they were. They were attracted to her. But Madonna was a person who had all types of people around her. And there's a lot of straight men who can't be around in a room with a gay man. They lose their shit. They don't know how to act, and they start to feel insecure, or they start having feelings, or they see a sexy man and they don't know how to act. Does that mean I'm gay? All those questions come up for them. So a lot of straight people think, yeah, Madonna's holding space for everyone. She's like, I'm holding space for these people, and so that's power in itself. Like, I'm a Black woman. I came out loud, so I was never, intimidated by any power presence, but I knew for sure what she did for gay men. She's like, okay, if you don't feel strong, I'm gonna be strong for you, and that would make sometimes straight men to feel, insecure. And it's like, and where do I stand? And she's like, stand here, stand like this to everyone. But a lot of straight men in the business, especially in the 80s, look, mothers were kicking their babies and stuff out back then.
AIDS,
like they couldn't even stand.
There's a part in Cindy's show where she talks about women couldn't have a bank account.
Yes,
like in the 70s, right?
Yeah,
that's huge.
Women couldn't have a credit card till the 80s. They couldn't get a bank loan. Like there's and that was, that's my lifetime.
Absolutely.
It was 2020. I bought my house. I came to Georgia. I had never dealt with this in California. I'm a Yankee from Michigan. Came to Georgia. First thing they asked me when I went to the bank to buy my house here in Georgia, 2020, who is your husband? I was like, you don't get to ask me that.
Yeah.
And they looked at me like, how dare you? And it's because of moments like being with somebody like Madonna, who said, they don't get to do that to you.
It's so weird when they say that too, because we live in such a different world. Like
we do. As well as, but she's one of those people who anchored not just women, not just gay men.
Yeah.
She anchored people, and like, no, people don't get to do that. We gonna love who we want to love, and that's huge for women, but it's also huge for straight male
Cindy,
to sit and watch.
I think Madonna and Cindy were. Cindy goes out there and marches, like And I actually have a shirt. I should show you. It's girls just want to have fundamental
rights.
Yeah, and
that's so great
because all that money is going to women's health and things of that nature. So, that's what I actually love about both women.
Yeah,
I'm very grateful I worked with both, because they're aligned in that way where they want to push the needle forward.
I've absolutely, when I was talking a bit earlier about how I don't know if younger people understand the legacies of both these women. And I have talked to, for instance, my niece who is queer, and I've been like, you don't have to, if the music's not your thing, go ahead and check it out. The music's not your thing. That's fine. But like, you need to know what they did for gay rights. Madonna, I don't know about Cindy, but Madonna has a whole Wikipedia page that's just about that, like Madonna's activism in the LGBTQ plus community. So like, that's a very important thing that they were, as cis, white, straight women in a male dominated field when AIDS was, really making people very not that they weren't homophobic before, but that just like made it worse.
Oh, it wasn't until Magic Johnson became HIV positive, and then everybody's like, wow, a straight person can get this.
Or like Ryan White, or
that had
Ali.
No color or gender preference. That's just disease.
Right. But it took, you're right. It took someone who wasn't basically gay to, like Ryan White was another one. Or like Elizabeth Glazer, but like it had to be someone who didn't fit that stereotype for anyone to even care.
And even more reason why the stories are important, because as we watch the pendulum try to swing back to that kind of thinking again, that we, that people are starting to be disenfranchised, disowned, deported because they're different, or they look different, or or rights are being taken away because they love different. So that's why the stories are important. And,
absolutely.
My daughters, power woman is Rihanna, you know, and
Oh,
she's like,
Rihanna's the great.
yeah,
She's great
yeah, and even Rihanna's one of the older ones now. So it's like,
now.
but
Yeah.
that's now. But that was my daughter's like, I love me some Rihanna and
Riri's.
And
Riri,
I would actually
you know?
put Rihanna if you were, the thing about Madonna is she set such a template that for years, anytime a new pop girl came on the scene, whether it was Britney or whoever, it'd be like, this is the new Madonna. That's what they would say.
No.
And
No,
Rihanna, I
there's
think,
only
I mean,
one.
there is only one, but like, I get it with like Rihanna, like, there I could see a lot of parallels. Like, she has an empire. She just does what she wants. She'll like, put out music when she wants. She'll like perform at the Super Bowl pregnant and surprise everybody. She has amazing looks, amazing videos, amazing visuals. She changes her sound. If you hear like Pawn the Replay and then what she did with Anti, it's like not even the same person. Like that's a good parallel right there, actually.
And for me, I always say it, because Madonna's my contemporary as I'm concerned. She was my boss, but she's also my contemporary as far as age and stuff. So for me, I was always like, well, to me, my template was Diana. It's like, that's why when I see her at 81, that's who I was like. She did movies. She had film. She was, went from a group to a solo artist. It's like she did it all. And to me, that was my template. So I'm just saying, we all stand on shoulders of so many.
We're talking about, yeah, well, you said there's so many stories that need to be shared, and there's so many I could ask about. I'd love to lightning round some Madonna questions with the two of you. So we talked about the Express Yourself VMAs number, how iconic it was, how it, we all still remember it. But I've got to also ask about Vogue, because Express Yourself was simple, as you said, and then Vogue was the opposite of that, and also one of the most memorable I mean, Madonna had so many memorable VMAs moments, but I think a lot of people go back to that one. So I want to hear about the costumes and the whole Dangerous Liaison thing that was going on. That was an amazing performance.
I feel like I remember at the end of the tour, the Blonde Ambition tour, we had been in the south of France. And I remember we were like outside around a table or something. And I think she had mentioned about that coming up. And I felt like, Niki, is this right? Like we were tossing around that idea, and that film had been out and we were all really into that style and that look and that period. So I felt like we were really excited about it and brainstorming. And then flash forward, I remember going into the costume place. I don't know if it was at Warner Brothers, like early on.
Western costume.
You have to go in. This is just the way it works. So many times you go in for costume fittings before you even start choreography or anything. It's like right away, go get your measurements taken, go in for the fitting. And I just remember walking down there and seeing all those big costumes, and they're pulling out, choices of what we were going to wear, and being in rehearsals and having the tight.
Remember having a rehearsal costume, because we had to get used to wearing the bustle.
We had to get used to that tight,
and having the corset on.
Was that hard to sing? Was that hard to sing with a corset?
Well, luckily,
not singing.
Luckily, we were not singing.
That was one of the first times.
Oh, you were lips.
We had to.
Okay, yeah.
We had no choice. We were so worried about dropping those damn fans.
No kidding. And we would like overdub.
You were the first ones to crack it.
We recorded that.
That was the only thing that was live.
Okay.
That was live. Yeah.
Yeah. We also had a pre-record.
We always sang live. That was the only one because we just couldn't take a chance. We couldn't take it between the wigs, the powder. It was just too much.
It was theater. And none of us had a problem with not singing. And anyway, we did sing along. You just couldn't hear us. Yeah. We had to sing to perform.
Yeah,
right. We literally recorded the fans during a sound check, right? We recorded the fan sound.
So then it was like really powerful when we hit it. Yeah.
What were some of your other favorite outfits to wear when you perform with Madonna? Because there were a lot of pretty amazing fashions.
I'll be really honest with you. For me, there's a couple of them because she did ran the gamut of so much stuff. I still love the suit. The Express Yourself suit.
Yeah.
To me, I want her to bring that back because I think suits are wide legs again. The whole Carol Lombard kind of wide. I love that with a cuff. Come on.
I know.
Probably a lot more comfortable than a corset.
Old bustier with suspenders.
Mm-hmm.
That was brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that
Still
was,
have it. Still have it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Did you guys in the
You never
Blonde
know.
Ambition tour did you had the polka dots as well, right? The black and
Yeah.
white polka dots. That
For
was one of my,
holiday.
yeah, I love
That's
that look
holiday.
as well.
That's
Um,
70s.
yeah,
I
But
loved,
then I thought it was really genius. Now tell me, Donna, if you don't think this is really genius. And I saw so many people bite this, and Madonna was so smart for this, was the freaking Dickie jumpsuits for
yeah, those are
music.
great. Yes,
Remember
absolutely.
with the music? That was such a genius, like simple. We were like so comfortable. Yeah, because when she went to the cowboy boots, I was like, thank you.
I know. That was
Real
the one
shoes,
time
like,
we were super comfortable in costumes. Yeah.
yeah. I was
They
like, I can
were,
wear comfy shoes.
I feel like the costumes were so great that when we put on the costume under the stage and you looked in the mirror, you just had your character.
mm,
You know, it was like Justify My Love with a big hat and that we were all like in black and white. It was so brilliant. Whether it was that or it was the Gautier kimono, you know,
Oh, I know what else.
the costumes almost put you into character. Yeah.
yeah.
The black sheer
Mm,
Gautier gown for rain.
I know.
Mm.
Simple. When they just putting that on, just all of a sudden you're so gentle and just it just felt so good. And that was coming out of like, why is it so hard to love one another? We're like all of a sudden, like we're all like, with bell bottoms, and all of a sudden you put this thing on, and it's just like, oh
oh,
wow, rain. It's like, oh wow, okay, it's a whole nother thing going on here.
I
Yeah.
remember, absolutely. I remember that she was so insistent that in rehearsal we had to have some kind of costume because we
Oh,
had to get used to rehearsing with this. And even if, sometimes it's like, do we have to rehearse in these 3-4 inch heels right now? But she was insistent and it was very smart because you learned how to move with the choreography with this suit on or with the corset
Oh,
on.
oh, yeah, cool.
That was really smart, and especially the shoes too. How you were going to move with those high heels, how it was going to shift your weight.
Is that something that she knew from dance, or is that just
I
what?
think it's because
Just
I mean,
learning.
she is a dancer, and
Yeah,
that you have
Yeah.
to pace yourself. You got to see, okay, right in this is where I'm going to need my breath.
yeah,
If you
okay.
Hmm.
do it in different shoes, and then all of a sudden you put on your performance shoes, it's like, wait a minute, why am I all winded? Oh, because I'm not used to being my body being shifted at this angle.
Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to do it day after day, hour after hour. So it becomes, by the time you get on that stage, it's second
It,
nature. And Don and I would look and we'd be like, the show's over. Wait, what? Because we had done 3 months of intense rehearsals, so by the time it's like, oh my, the show's over. How did it go so
I
fast?
know. We had such a flow. I wish people could see like the under the stage flow, and the show for us was that as well. And the way we would connect with each other in our room before the show. I remember I used to do like these, you just have rituals you do. We'd have like our tea under the stage. Hopefully we don't have to go to the bathroom before the show starts or even during it.
Yeah.
That was hard.
What
Um,
were some of your,
Naps,
huh?
naps,
Oh, you got
naps.
disco naps
You're
is what
I
the
think you're about to say what are some of your
naps.
favorites. Yeah, we have napped in many stadiums around the world.
They got us. They got us these, they always say, what do you want on your rider? Well, on our rider, we had the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts and everything. And then it was like, we want beds, like cots. So they would also have nice blankets and pillows. And we had our robes that we could put on. So Niki and I had this whole ritual with the tea. And we were so aligned in this because we knew we had to have those quiet times when everyone else was like, ah, in their dressing rooms, dancing and warming up. We were having this stillness and we turned the lights out, make sure it was black. I think we
Candles.
had eye masks. I mean, the whole thing. So when we got up, we were just like this open, it's like an open slate. And it was amazing. I really miss those moments. And I think I'm going to go back to that napping ritual.
Oh,
I'm a big
I
fan.
do it. I do it.
Yeah.
I count
Besides
on my naps.
I'm ready.
besides the two VMAs performances that we talked about, like what other iconic, memorable Madonna performances? They could be on TV or it could have been a number from like, I know this is a huge question because like you
Mhm.
have so many, but like what are your favorites? Like that was my favorite number or that was my favorite television performance or what's like besides the two VMAs ones?
I loved when we were just doing like TV promo, like where were we in Europe, and it was just like so loose. And there are some clips of us doing, was it Don't Tell Me? Where we're kind of
I like
doing like
that
this,
one. Don't
and it
I
was
like the
loose. There was nobody there. I didn't feel like there was anyone there being like, move over 1 inch or don't, watch these movements. You're not perfectly in sync. I felt like there was like a playfulness. It was really fun. And
Mm.
I really love those.
Yeah,
And when I watch them back, it's really fun to watch for me.
my my favorite moments were not performances at all.
Hmm.
It's when we weren't performing. It's the, laying in bed and watching movies together. It's the her showing up at at the apartment and, bringing me cognac. Just like, oh,
Sweet.
or Madonna threw my very first, I had never had a surprise party, and she heard that and she threw a birthday party for me just out of the
Oh,
blue. Yeah. And it's like, so stuff like that reminds me, like, yes, she's a diva. Yes, she's a performer. Yes, she's, badass, but she's also just kind of like, when she wanted, she can just be a really, really nice person. And like, that's the stuff that for me, I hold dear.
Yeah.
When I broke my legs, she came to, because I couldn't go back to my house because my house had to be redone so that my wheelchair could go up there, and I was
oh
in
Hmm.
wow.
this little apartment. And
How'd you break your
oh,
legs? So long.
okay, went over a mountain 150 feet on Catalina Island in a golf cart.
In a golf
You don't
cart.
want to know.
Yeah.
It's a long story. Yeah, somebody took
All
me
right.
over the mountain. They
Oh
jumped. I
God, that's
didn't
crazy.
jump.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nikki.
Well, I'm
yeah.
glad
So
that
broke.
you eventually recovered, but Madonna was there for you during this time.
Well, Madonna was there, but not only that, and when for me the good part is like that I didn't expect her to, and my girlfriend was. I mean, this is Eddie Jack. He's like, Madonna's coming down the hallway. I was like, what? And this is at his apartment because I couldn't go back to my apartment, and I couldn't walk, and I'm laying on the floor with the
Mm.
pillows, and the nurse is there with the ivory and the heparin, and she walked in. Her and Carlos walked in, and I was like, and she just sat there, and we just laughed, and just to me, those are the moments that I cherish. The baby
Hmm.
shower, just yeah, just being, laying in
A
in, in,
friend,
in
a
the
real
grass, just being
friend.
a
Yeah.
friend, and not because it's so easy to just keep her in this one box. She's tough.
Yeah.
She's mean. She's in. It's like, no, she got a whole lot of colors, and she taught us. That's why Donna and I are still friends, because she allowed us to have all those colors too. And Donna allows me to have my colors. I allow her, and that's how you know how to move with somebody and ebb and flow with somebody. So
Hmm.
that's why some of my best memories are her not performing. It's just being.
Well, obviously
Hmm.
that bond, we could see it in the, Truth or Dare documentary about, about the Blind Ambition port, and there's been like reunion since where you see cast people get together and stuff like that. When you did that tour, which, as I was saying earlier, I think kind of set the template for what the expectations were for a diva doing a big tour. Like, were you prepared for being in that circus? It was so huge. There was so much attention on it. There was a lot of controversy, people protesting or it was so in the zeitgeist then in a way that didn't always. Now stuff like that exists because we have social media. We didn't have it then. But like, were you prepared? And then you have cameras following you around. Like, you couldn't have been prepared for what a phenomenon that tour and that documentary were going to
I
be.
love that
So
documentary.
good.
I feel like because we had done the tour before, and that was so huge, and just those first moments of arriving in Japan and the mass hysteria, and to be so young and never have experienced that before, and then we got used to it as that tour went on. The huge, I mean, it was like all stadiums. It was huge.
Yeah, so by the
1987.
time Blonde Ambition tour came around, we were pretty cool. We had,
Yeah,
we had gone through the auditions of watching those young dancers come. We felt like the veterans at that
yeah.
point. So I didn't, yeah, and I always say, even when we're doing the interviews now, it's like I feel like we were lucky because we did not have cell phones and all that. I
Oh,
mean, at
thank
least I know I
goodness.
Oh
didn't. I
God,
think
yeah.
somebody had. I think we were lucky because we got to be present. We got to
Yeah.
really look at each other's eyes, and that's why that movie holds up. I think it would have been different if you would have seen everybody with their manager or with their assistant, and everybody with their phones and trying to, get next to Madonna and take a picture and posting it in 5 minutes. And like, no, we got to really soak it up. You
Yeah.
know, I would have known, like, go to Warren Beatty's house and have your phone out. That's like, no, I didn't. I got to be there and be present with them.
But
That's
yeah, that's
Then
why
we
that
have the
documentary. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we have the stories. We don't have all the pictures, you know. Like now, you could go back at your pictures, and every day tells a story. But we have to just, you know, that's why we're here. We keep sharing and telling these stories of that time. And part of the beauty of that time, of course, what Niki's saying is that we were so in the moment, and we could connect with one another more.
That's why that documentary, I think, for various reasons, but one of the reasons why I think it was such a big deal when it came out was, I mean, not that it was like the first, you know, tour documentary or whatever. Obviously, there'd been lots of music documentaries, but it like the kind of peak it was showing behind the scenes was not typical. It kind of, you know, and we didn't see like that because we didn't have, you know, celebrities being like, here's, you know, here's me doing this, here's me with Warren Beatty or whatever. So that kind of stuff. And also reality TV wasn't, I mean, I guess the real world existed, but like the kind of all these shows where it's kind of like par for the course now that cameras are everywhere. That didn't exist at all.
well.
It
And I remember
didn't.
Donna saying something to me that I remember you saying, this is when we were both, you know, I was doing the snap stuff and you're like, Niki, just bring something here. You know, you got to have a CD or something. I was like, I just want to do the gig. And you're like, no, but they just want access, a little bit of access. They want to be able to feel like they touched you. And I think that movie, it just felt like people had a little access that they never had before. So that's what made that movie so much bigger at that point too, because nobody was really, you know, like, you know, half the people only have access to themselves and the lives that they're curating, you know, for themselves now.
Did
As
you mind?
opposed to,
Sorry, go ahead.
huh?
I was just going to
Did I
ask,
mind?
did you mind having the like in light of the fact that that was not a common thing that we were all used to then? Did you mind? Was it invasive, like having these cameras on you, following you around?
I thought she had, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I felt like it was respectful. They were so respectful. I mean, if Niki and
So
I were like, we got
respectful.
to change, can you please leave? And we also got to be friends with the camera crew, and we loved them, you know, and they were part of the family, so we got used to it.
They were there to do their job. We were there to do ours.
Mhm.
And
She was
yeah,
there to do hers.
very, very loving.
Tracy, how did you like? We've mentioned I Rise because, of course, you won a Grammy for that, but that was maybe you've done like what 14 remixes for Madonna, something like that. You've done a
Probably
lot.
more at this point, but yeah.
How did
She's
you guys
been
first
great.
meet in the nine? It was in the 90s, you know, I believe. I
It
don't know
was,
exactly the
I
year.
met Madonna in the middle 90s. I was DJing and I used to make cassette tapes as demos.
I
And
love it.
yeah. And I used to practice and record myself and listen back. But and when I met Luli Caceres, who is related to Ingrid Caceres, who was at the time and still is a very good friend of Madonna's. So one of my cassette tapes landed in Madonna's hand, and they were running the beach to it. I was like, what? Like at that time, it's just so crazy.
Wow.
I'm a girl from Virginia, and they're to think about Madonna in the middle of 19 or whatever, erotica. When did erotica come out? It was around
94,
93?
93?
93.
So it was around that time.
Oh,
And
wow.
then I got a call. I started DJing parties for Ingrid. Ingrid and I became really good friends. So I had met Madonna at those events. And then Ingrid ended up opening a club in Miami. And it was just, I remember the first time I got the call from Carice, who was Madonna's old manager. And Madonna wanted me to do her birthday party in LA, but that didn't happen because Versace got shot that year. So
Wow.
I kept coming in rooms with Madonna through Ingrid mostly. That's how I met her.
Do you know what she liked about that tape or about what the tape she heard? Did she ever?
Probably that I'm awesome.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah,
That
that goes without
part.
saying.
That
That goes without saying.
part.
No, I
Yeah.
don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's the fact that I was a female. I'm sure that had something to do with it because at that time there were no girls that you would see in the DJ booth ever.
Mm.
And I don't know. That I really actually that's a good question. I don't know. I should ask.
You
I
should
should
ask.
figure it out.
What was the first remix you did for her of all these
Well,
many?
that was music. And I remember I was in Liquid and we had a small conversation about production. Madonna had worked with Junior Vasquez for many, many years. And then she, I think, was looking for somebody else. And I just felt not prepared at that point. And Victor was DJing the party, and we were all there. And the next thing you know, Victor's getting the Frozen remix. So I was there. I was there from that point on. And then Carice gave me the music remix. I don't know how it came, but I was finally ready because I had been around the studio so much at that point. I was like, yeah, I can try it now. But when Frozen came across, I was like, I'm not ready for that. And I felt like at the time, if I had taken a remix and not be prepared, like I would never get the opportunity again. And I thought it was worth that risk to not do it.
It all
And
worked out.
I don't know. I remember being like, I just ruined my life, but because I just didn't feel ready. I didn't know enough. And so by the time music came, I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So
What's your favorite remix that you've done for her?
oh, they're all very special because it's like Niki and Donna are grateful. I mean, there were no women doing it. So it was, and I went under the alias of the Young Collective because I didn't want my gender to be a factor, but they found out. People found
Wait, that's interesting.
It is.
Why didn't, I mean,
I
I
didn't
guess,
want my name on it. Like I didn't
why?
want it to say Tracy Young.
Did you think that if,
Because I wanted them to judge the music. I wanted them, so music is the Young Collective remix,
but it's you.
Mm.
but it's me. Yeah, and I use that sometimes, but I
When
guess
did you,
that cat's out of the bag now.
it's
She's
out there.
over that now. She's not afraid to put her name on things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I mean, I knew it was going to be a gender thing. I knew that was going to oh, she's fucking Madonna, which happened anyway. And God, that's a good rumor to have, but no.
Oh, for a
I'm
minute when
sorry.
you said that happened anyway, I'm like, wait, you fucked Donna?
No,
Like, that's what I
no,
thought
the
you meant.
rumors
It was like big
happened.
scoop.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you couldn't, I mean, in the
You meant
late
that people
90s,
said that. Okay.
yeah, but
People
it's
assume that's
never
crazy.
based on talent. It's always based or a good record. It's always something to like she slept her way to the top. Oh, she's sleeping with Madonna. That's why she got this and that. But no, that's not the reason. So I just felt at that time, I was like, I don't want to put my name on this. I want to see if people really like it.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. When did you start
Well,
doing it as Tracy?
Liz Rosenberg actually pitched me to a Billboard article. So they found out very quickly that it was Tracy Young, the Young Collective. So when I did Don't Tell Me, it was my name at that point.
And
But
that's what it says on the Grammy statuette.
yeah,
So
well,
there
I
you go.
just started. I mean, at that point, it was already.
Right. But
I did
that's
that.
so interesting that, I mean, we're talking not, I mean, I guess it was 30 years ago, which is crazy. I think the 90s, or no, I guess music, it would have been
No,
the
music
2000s.
came out in around 2000.
2000.
But still, 25 years ago, with that was still something that would be a concern for any woman in electronic music is crazy.
Well, I started becoming associated with it when I DJ'd her wedding to Guy Ritchie.
Don't think I wasn't going to ask about that, so go
Well,
right ahead.
the association was there at that point. So I said, I might as well use this to my advantage too. Like, put my name on it and, at
What
that
was what was that wedding like? What was it like? It must have been
two people
fabulous.
got married and
Well,
they
yeah.
were in love and not my wedding to talk about. So,
But was it lit? Was the party lit? I can imagine.
oh,
it was lit.
I was behind the music.
So yeah.
Of course.
What did you, I mean, okay, we don't need to know the details of the wedding. I respect that. what did you play to get the party
I
started and going?
played some real dope music. I played a lot of house music, and at the time, let's see, I remember opening the wedding, if you can open a wedding, with Daft Punk, One More Time. That was the big
Wow.
song. Because then
Is
I
that a
felt
reference
the
to the fact that
lyrics.
she'd been married before and she was getting married? Was that an in joke that because she was getting married?
Oh no, actually not
I'm
at
sorry.
all. It was the lyrics, music makes me
Lindsay,
feel.
Lindsay, you
But
are
Lindsay,
messy. You are messy. You
No,
are
yes,
messy,
see,
messy, messy.
you're going in the they category in a
no, but
minute.
I know Madonna
For
has a sense of
real.
humor. I have a sense of. I feel like I don't know. I just wondered if
No,
that was like a
I
little in joke.
actually,
It's a great
those
song.
lyrics were good because it's talking about
Gonna
celebrating,
Yeah.
celebrate.
and
Yeah, I love that song. All Daft
I
Punk
didn't
stuff is.
even think of One More Time.
I was just joking.
But
What else?
that,
What else did you play? So you opened
um,
with Daft Punk.
yeah, I played, it was a traditional wedding. They danced, they had their slow, it's private.
No, I just wanted to know the playlist is all. So if
Yeah.
I ever get
No,
married, I could use it.
well, you could
I'm sure.
hire
You'll
me.
have to hire her. Yeah.
Don't know if I could afford
No.
you, Tracy, but
Oh, we could work something out.
all right, we'll take that conversation offline.
No,
What
I
did
mean,
you play for Cindy's concert? What do you open with for Cindy's concert?
Yeah.
I know you, leave you,
All
like I
right
feel
now.
the sun in the
In the
morning.
morning,
Sing
like
it,
a
baby.
They love
like I
it.
see the moon at night. I
I
know
know
you.
you.
I
I know
live
you.
you.
I've
I knew
actually
we'd get back to 2025 somehow. I knew it.
I actually read, Tracy, that unlike maybe some DJs, you don't do the same set on the tour. You kind of make it city specific on the
Well,
Cindy tour.
I can never do the same thing twice, really. And I'm always live. Like I'm not.
Unless she's cute.
Hey!
Unless she's
Messy.
cute.
I'm
That's
the one.
funny.
No,
That's the one thing she'll do
I
twice.
like I did a Motown tribute in Detroit, which was a lot.
Oh.
And I did it last night too, because everybody loved it. So yeah, I just kind of switch it up with the city. Like when we were in Europe, in Berlin, I did techno and
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of I like to give love to the city too. And nobody wants to hear that same, I don't know. I see DJs that program the same thing over and over. It's live, honey. It's really live. I might mess up. So
Well, I'm going to see you in the Hollywood Bowl. I'm going to see that show in LA. Can you give me a
awesome.
sneak preview of like what kind of LA inspired songs you might play? Hollywood.
I'll definitely play some Niki, Donna, and Tracy up in that.
Mm-hmm.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yay.
We have a lot of music coming out, and I don't know, I haven't gotten to LA yet. I'm in Kansas right now. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow yet. So
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna look at that
Dust
tour
in the
list.
Wind. Dust in the Wind.
oh,
Remix of Dust in the
is
Wind.
there a remix of that?
I don't know. Maybe you could
Well, I'm
make
staying in Margaritaville. Maybe some
There you
Jimmy
go.
Buffett.
Oh
Or,
my gosh.
I don't know. Something Wizard of Oz theme.
Oh yeah.
Kansas. I don't know.
Maybe the Wiz. He's on down. He's on
There
down.
you go.
There you go.
There you go. It all is connected.
That soundtrack is dope anyway.
It's so dope.
Mhm.
It's so dope.
I saw Diana Ross recently, and when she did a song from The Wiz, I was very excited because I didn't expect her to do that, and I was pretty happy about that. I'm looking forward to that tour, and I'm looking forward to all the music
Well,
that you
we'll
guys
have
are.
to connect in
I would
LA.
love that. I
Yeah.
would love that. Is there speaking of connection though, I mean, I'm sure you guys, Niki and Donna, get asked this a lot, but is there any potential of working with Madonna again? I mean, I'm kind of surprised that you weren't in some part of the celebration tour. Not like every date or something, but maybe like
Oh, but they were.
Were you? Okay, well not in LA, so now I'm bummed.
No, they were.
Our footage was on,
Yeah.
and our voices.
Right, but I meant like physically, like a few years ago, Janet Jackson brought a lot of like dancers from her 90s era on stage, and there was
Aw.
like a reunion. I kind of feel like it would have been cool if like there'd been a Madonna moment like that. But is there any potential of you guys collaborating in any, I don't know how long it's been since you have to, off the top of my head, like how many years it's been, but has that ever been discussed or?
I don't think. I think right now, Nikki and I we're so into what we're doing, and we just love singing together. If that came about in the future, I feel like we would welcome it with open arms. But right now, we're focusing on working with Tracy and all of this. What we can share
'cause
together.
it's magic and angelic, honey.
And what we could give to the world. We both, Nikki and I, share the same intention with just sharing our love and our joy. And I hope for us to keep Nikki and I to go out there and keep doing our shows, and then also doing events with Tracy, those big events. And
And
like
if Madonna
I
can
see
keep up
us there
us,
with you.
if she can, if Madonna can keep up with us, so be it.
Exactly. Maybe she wants
No.
to jump up with us at a pride.
Exactly.
Hey,
Look,
we will
what I
take
know for
Madonna
sure,
in the trio.
yeah, what we know for sure is that if Madonna and Donna and Nikki ever get together and sing again, it's going to be magic again.
Oh,
Because that's what it
yeah.
is. We do know that. So, the bottom line is that if all else fails, we know that the magic has already occurred. So if
Yeah.
there's more of that, we don't know.
Absolutely. Well, the last
I've always said
Until then, we make our own.
Yes.
Then we make our own magic.
Well, the last thing I'll ask for all three of you is like, we sort of touched on it a bit, but like thoughts about longevity in the business. Cause like, it took many years in the business for you, Tracy, to win your first Grammy. Cindy's already always reinventing herself. She became a Tony winner. Obviously, Madonna is always, reinventing herself. She had one of her biggest hits when she was almost 50 years old. You guys have reinvented yourself, but it's not always easy, especially for women. So like, yeah, what's the advice to have a career that goes for like decades, like all of the women we're talking about and your fabulous selves?
I think it's never too late. It's never too late to start singing, to start playing an instrument, to share your soul and your voice with your friends. I feel like, in a lot of ways, in my heart, I feel like the best is yet to come for us, and I want to just keep, holding that vision and having so much for us to look forward to together.
Donna and I are
so
about to
much.
be empty nest. We're about to be empty nesters.
Yes, exactly.
So we still got kids that we're trying to get out of the nest, and then we've got a whole nother chapter after that to do. And we don't have nannies and all that stuff. We don't have nobody cooking for us. We do all that stuff. So those are moments that we like to be present for, so that when we see those kids, we know we've really instilled all that stuff in them. And so I know the fact that we continue to make music, and we've done it already for decades, not for a few, for decades. She and I have made music for decades. So for me, we've already been shown that God's got us and that we are successful. So anything we do after this, we gonna start the way we said it to Tracy. Let it be fun. Let us remember. We always say that. Let us remember our intention of why we do what we do. And I think you said it best. Nothing's impossible, and the best is yet.
It's funny that you said the word chapter, because and not to keep talking about Cindy, but I'm deep in this tour.
Yeah.
But part of the tour is she tells all these stories, and she's an amazing storyteller. It's not the same every night. And Robbie will tell you, like, it's just to hear her tell these stories. She said that there are many chapters of your life. And, when you think you've closed the chapter, one will open again. And it's interesting that you use that adjective.
Well, and the weird part, the great thing is, like, so many people come up to us, and I know they have for you, Donna, and talk to you like, so put that in the book. And I'm like, I still feel like we're still writing chapters.
We're writing.
I can't, I can't even like think about what a book would feel like. We got work to do. Baby. We got work to do. So I'm grateful that our voices are still here.
To be working with the two of them. Like, I mean, it's so effortless, and I just it's such a, I can't even say it.
And right back at you, because I've worked with so many remixers and everything, and you just never know when you give them the vocals, they send you it back, and you're listening for the first time. And sometimes it's like, okay, I got to get into this and really work on this. But with Tracy, honestly, it's like I totally trust her. And what I'm hearing is amazing. And every time I'm like, it's great. I love it. I love it.
But I'm
like right away.
learning. Like I feel like, we talk about reinventing, but I think that's just being artists and evolving. I don't think it's really reinventing because we all move. I started as a DJ, but then I went to remixing, then I went to like there's when you love what you do and you love music as much as the three of us do, it's you always want to you embrace what's coming next. And so like I don't see it as much as reinventing as much as it is to being open to new experiences and learning. And that's what the whole reinvention thing, I think, comes from, more than it being a deliberate type of
calculated movement.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think, I don't know. It's part of being an artist, I think.
Well, I'm very excited for everything that's coming next for all three of you. The next song is Water, right? That comes out.
Ooh, honey,
get ready.
I'm ready. My body is ready. And my body's ready to see you, Tracy, at the Hollywood Bowl. That's going to be amazing.
And maybe you'll see Niki and Donna somewhere.
We're going to make this happen. I'm ready to do it. Niki, are you? Let's go.
I'm so ready to do it.
We need the notes. Send us the notes.
I'll get a transcribed sent to you. But I mean, seriously, this was such a blast and such an honor for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing us together.
Thank you for anchoring us and reminding us who we are. And thank you for those great words. Like I said again, I'm grateful to play with these legends, these iconic, legendary musicians over here. And thank you, Lindsay, for reminding us.
Anytime.
Love y'all.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Sun
in the
like the
morning light. I know you like I feel the sun.
Sing it, baby.
Like the morning light. I know you.
Yeah! It's a wrap!
It's a wrap! Bye-bye!
Bye, thank you guys.
Let's go!